Hey, everybody, welcome to the Rock Shop with Ralph, your source for all things entertainment. Tonight, we have very special guest, Neon Knights, the epic tribute to Dio. And with us, we have Michael Power and Bobby Adams, the lead vocalist and bassist from that band. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Ralph?
How you doing, buddy?
Always excellent. Now, anybody that knows me know that I'm like the ultimate Dio fan. I mean, I got Dio on my arm. I got Long Live Rock and Roll on my arm. So you guys better put up tonight. You know what I mean?
All right. All right.
No, all kidding aside, I got to tell you, and anybody that's listening out there, these guys rock. I've seen them live, and you can go and see them on YouTube. I have them on my page. These guys bring the shit every night. So one thing I want to convey is you have the standard tribute bands that dress up just like the performers. Like, let's just say you have a Poison tribute band. They're all dressing up with makeup on and all that stuff. You guys try not to even look like anybody in the Dio band or Black Sabbath. You guys just plug in and play, and you guys bring it every night. Is that something that you wanted to do when you formed the band?
Well, I have an issue with bands that try to replicate the exact look if you don't have, a natural resemblance to the players in the band to begin with. If there's a resemblance there and you're trying to replicate it as close as possible, that makes sense. But if you don't look anything like Jimmy Bain, why would you try to, wear his clothes? I don't know about that.
Right.
And wigs and look, if it looks right, it's great. But some bands do it, and I just don't think it looks authentic. I think it takes away, from the experience. And, I think I look like Ronnie a little bit. I move like him a little bit. I can replicate some of his gestures and, replicate some of his phrasing, but I could never, ever compare to him as far as power and range. Right. And, I could never replicate exactly his clothing without, spending quite a bit of money. And,
Well, you're also not 5'4",
and I'm also not 5'4", correct?
Exactly. And 100 pounds, but,
I'm 5'9" and I'm 200 pounds. So,
but I tell you, I mean, I've seen you guys live. You belt it out, and you sound. I mean, nobody's gonna ever sound like Dio. I mean, the man was phenomenal. But nobody's ever gonna sound like him. But you guys do a hell of a job. And Bobby, how you doing?
Good, I'm good, man. I mean, my hair doesn't look like Jimmy Bain.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're like the Seinfeld episode, the Bizarro episode, where you have everybody going completely opposite. You look nothing like Jimmy Bain.
Like if we put a wig on Bobby, he's not going to look like Jimmy Bain.
Right, right.
He's a butler.
He's a butler, right?
He's a butler. Correct. I don't think anybody's. Well, I'm not even going to say that. Never mind. So let's start from the beginning, because we want to do a quick recap on how you guys met. So you guys are together for 10 years now, correct?
It'll be 10 years in March of 2020, 2021.
2021, yeah.
That's awesome. And whose idea was it to get the Dio tribute together, to get it going?
Good, Mike.
I put an ad out on Craigslist. I decided that I wanted to get back into the club scene. I started in the clubs in like 1981 and did an original thing for years. And then I was in a thrash thing in the 90s. And then I was out of the scene for quite a long time. And, I was just kind of climbing the walls, doing nothing. And was getting into singing a bunch of Dio stuff every day. And I was like, you know what? Why not take a shot at this? And I put an ad out on Craigslist, and a guitar player answered the ad. And that's how I met Bobby. He brought me over to Bobby's rehearsal studio. And then I'll let Bobby take it from there. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, everybody thought it was a rehearsal studio. It was really a porno shoot studio. No, I own a studio called The Dead End in Lindenhurst from 2008 to about 2012. And the guitar player he's talking about was in a Judas Priest tribute band that used to rehearse there. And he came up to me and he said, "Hey, would you be interested? I heard you play bass. Would you be interested in playing in a Dio tribute band?" And I went, I'm interested in playing I want to try all different things to become a better bass player. I'm like, sure. So he came back with Mike, and then I had a drummer at the time, Ralph, actually from our old neighborhood, playing in my studio.
I was on Park Queens, by the way. Hey,
you
buddy.
know Frankie Tagliaferri?
No.
Okay, well, he was living in Lyndhurst at the time. He was a drummer. I grabbed him, and he was a Dio fanatic like you. And we jammed, and from there, Mike and I are the only two original members left. But over the years, we've gotten different drummers, keyboard players, and guitar players. And Mike has made me understand and really get into the whole, just the feeling of the Dio music from Rainbow to everything. And that's why I really love it, because it really helped me as a bass player.
Oh man, I mean, those are big shoes to step into. You got to step into Jimmy Bain's, shoes. You got to step into Geezer Butler's shoes. I mean, those are too big. Those are 4 feet, big feet to fill.
It's a
You know
lot.
what I mean? It is a lot. What do you?
The whole band is filling big shoes, man. The whole band.
Right, I know. And you guys are pretty big out on the island. You guys play all over the place. What are some of the places that you do play, that you like to play?
Mike?
Well, we played all the clubs that were open. Unfortunately, a lot of them are gone now, and it's kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Losing Revolution.
Well, Revolution, okay, Pauline at Revolution is like a great friend of mine. She gave us our original act. She gave us our first big show.
Yep.
And the lineup we had at the time was a great lineup. We had no keyboard player yet, and we played there. And then when we got a keyboard player, she put us back in there. And then we even played on a night when Kicks played there. We were one of the opening acts for Kicks there.
Wow.
And then it just took off from there.
I don't mean to sidestep, but have you seen Steve Whitman sing lately? They bring it every fucking night.
Yes.
That man.
I went to the
This
show.
guy is 70 years old, and it sounds just like the record.
It sounds just like 30 years ago. It's incredible.
Right. And he's a vocal coach, and he knows how to sing. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. I mean, it's phenomenal how that
I
band
agree with
sounds.
that. I agree with that. Man.
I totally agree too. He's really good.
Right.
Really good.
Right.
The whole band. The whole
Yeah.
band was tight. I mean,
And they had
Space in Westbury. We did the anniversary for that album.
right.
They went from first song to last song. Didn't miss a beat. I was like, what?
Yeah, they got a new release out called Midnight Dynamite Relit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they remastered that album. But anyway, getting back to the clubs. I mean, until we can say fuck, bitch, shit, whatever you want. Until COVID hit.
I don't want to have a potty mouth. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Until COVID hit, I mean, I'm a musician myself. I got a band. We played all over like you guys, and a lot of the places in Queens and on the island, they're just closing one after the next. I mean, this is heartbreaking for us. Is there any other places that you guys played that are like hanging on by a thread right now?
Oh yeah, 89 North.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with Napper Tandies. I think there's a show scheduled for January. Some friends of mine
was supposed to be there was canceled, so who knows what's going to happen in New York.
Yeah, Napper Tandies has a show with it's called Empire. This band, they're a Queensrÿche tribute band.
Yeah.
It's a friend of ours, yeah.
Johnny from Armed and Dangerous is in it.
Yep.
He posted on Facebook that there's a show like
Johnny Wildchild, good friend of ours.
Yeah. I mean, we have fans all over. I know people are saying who is that, but you can find them on Facebook. Those bands, I mean, they're on the East Coast. People that are listening on the West Coast, come on my show and we'll promote you as well.
Right.
Yeah. So now, like I said,
I'm going to tell you one place that I had a great time playing. And what me and Mike decided was we went to the band and said, guys, we're stuck in this Long Island rut. Let's venture out of New York. Let's take a shot. But we won't go too far because we have to drive and we're not rock stars with airplanes or mobile homes. So we wound up playing in Connecticut 2 times up there. And the Main Street Tavern. And let me tell you, that place
is that it?
there
Main
was
Street Tavern. Yeah.
Amazing place.
Yeah, we had a great time. We had a great time.
Great gigs there.
And some real diehard, Dio fans came out to see the band. So it was a lot of fun.
right. That's what I was going to say. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I just wanted to say that it's funny you brought that up, Bob, because sitting right here on my phone, I happen to be going through it, and alas, the set from that night, which was
read it out to us. Let's hear some of the songs.
19 songs. I got to tell you something. I've done some tough things in my life. Singing 2 sets of DIO back to back.
Yeah, we did 2 sets, 2 1-hour sets.
Put me in traction, man.
You know, let's talk a little bit about Ronnie, because I mean, this is crazy. First of all, you're talking about a guy that's 5'4". I mean, I'd say he weighed what, a $130, maybe a $140.
Maybe. Yeah.
And no vocal warm-ups whatsoever. I mean, that's documented. The guy never warmed up his voice. Mike, as a vocalist, and you know, I can attest to this. How did he do it? How did the guy fucking do it?
He's just a freak. He's just a natural,
God-given.
Yeah, that's it, man.
You know what I mean?
He's like a hybrid human alien freak vocally. It was just unbelievable power.
Right. Now let's just say, for instance, you're playing a gig and we come up with a set list. Who comes up with the sets? Who comes up with the set list?
We let the singer do it because he has to sing the DIO stuff. And he also gives our guitar player, Charlie Grasso, who's an amazing note. I mean, he does every guitar player solos, everything note for note.
Yeah, I seen him. He's very.
They figure out which songs to build it up because, you know, they don't want to come out and kill themselves. But with the DIO stuff, right away, you're breaking your balls. It's like, let's go, man.
Right. What do you find? Which song do you find is the hardest DIO song to play? Both of you guys. Which song, Mike?
It's not one.
Exactly.
I'll give you a couple that are just they're brutal on your voice. I'd have to say that songs like that you wouldn't think are that difficult to sing. You know, if you listen to Ronnie sing it, because Ronnie makes it sound easy. You know what I mean?
He doesn't even miss a breath, Ronnie.
Yeah, like, I mean, he does things and, you know, you're like, wow, it sounds so easy. But then when you're trying to sing it, you know, it's a completely different thing. So Falling Off the Edge of the World can be.
I was going to say that as a bass player, Falling Off the Edge of the World is one of the hardest ones for me to play. Definitely.
Wow. That's an awesome fucking song, man.
I'm looking at them here. Now, there's other songs people would hear and say, "Oh, man, that sounds like it's really hard to sing." But some songs are just in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? And Straight Through the Heart is something that I have a great passion for.
Well, for Holy Diver.
I really love to sing that song. But other songs, I love them, but I dread singing them.
The rainbow stuff, Mike. Remember the rainbow stuff we were doing, man?
Yeah, you know, like doing Stargazer.
Oh my God, my favorite. As a drummer, Cozy Powell is one of my favorite drummers if not the famous drummer of all time. That opening on Stargazer, I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, Cozy was the fucking man.
You know, like I'll give you the set list from Connecticut when we did 2 sets back.
Yeah, read it off.
We opened with King of Rock and Roll, Evil Eyes, We Rock, Falling Off, Holy Diver, Turn Up the Night. That can be tough. Don't Talk to Strangers. This is really challenging. Last in Line, Neon Nights, and Heaven and Hell.
That's only set 1.
That's set 1.
Wow.
Then we came out about a half an hour later and did Kill the King, Straight Through the Heart, Silver Mountain, Children of the Sea. That can be challenging.
That was the first song ever written with the Black Sabbath.
Right, with Sabbath.
Yeah, that's
Speed at Night. We do Speed at Night.
Oh, Speed at Night.
Rules, Bible Black.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome song.
Stand Up and Shout, and Rainbow in the Dark.
Yeah.
Wow.
And after you sang 18 songs, singing Rainbow in the Dark is like, you know, like a buzzsaw going.
Did you have a keyboard player with you?
Not for that show. No.
And that's even harder. I'm singing that song with no keys behind it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Charlie Grasso on guitar is.
Yeah. And people don't realize a lot of the songs, the keyboards are underlying in it.
Oh, yeah.
And another thing, this drummer we're with now, this guy, Rob Ferrara, I had to talk about him too, because he's in a Metallica tribute.
Damage Inc., right?
Yeah. And
Rob's a great guy.
Rob is like a machine. His energy and his power is just phenomenal. He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
You know,
he came right into the band. No, he came right in after we lost our other drummer, and within a week we were ready to play out.
It was incredible. He knew everything, but it was a little challenging because Rob's style of playing was so different from the guy prior to him. I was having a little trouble with my timing. It was a little challenging in the beginning for me to get acclimated to Rob's speed, you know.
Especially when we did Killing the Dragon. That was a rough one.
Oh, I love that album. I love that album. Oh man,
yeah,
I can go on about songs, but two things I want to say. The first thing is, you take a drummer like Vinny Appice. I mean, he is so distinctive. There are three drummers, and Vinny Appice is one of them, where you can hear a song and you know that that's Vinny Appice playing. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, I've been following that guy for so long. I go back to the days when he was in Rick Derringer.
Yep, he was in Rick Derringer, and here's some trivia for him. You know, he played on the John Lennon song "Whatever Gets You Through the Night." He did the hand claps in that.
Wow. How about that?
That's why they call me the king of useless information. People are like, how the fuck do you fucking know that? My wife tells me all the time. She goes, what the fuck? How am I supposed to know? How the fuck would you know that? You know, that's just funny stuff. Yeah, it's just stuff. Did you catch the cameo he did on my page?
I did not.
I had him do a cameo promoting the Rock Shop with Ralph, and he couldn't get Rock Shop with Ralph. He kept saying the Rock Shop. So that was pretty funny. But it's funny you mentioned the King of Rock and Roll, that song. Here's another bit of information. Maybe useless, maybe not. Do you know who he wrote that song about?
I do not.
He wrote that song about Ozzy.
Really?
Yeah, he said I wrote that song for Ozzy. At the time, you know, he always says, you know, I know they thought there was bad blood between the both of them, but he says I actually
really wasn't.
Well, exactly. It's the press. The press makes it out like that.
Right.
But he actually said I wrote that song for Ozzy. Ozzy was the king of rock and roll, and that actually wasn't a live track. That actually was recorded in the studio, and they put the background crowd noise in there like it was a
right.
Yeah, that was a song that Mike and Charlie had brought up, and like I said, I was new with the DIO stuff, and I was like, I don't know, but we opened up with it a few times and it went over big.
Oh, that's a
great
song.
I think we now have our favorite opening song, which I love. We have a keyboard player named Raul in the band.
Yeah, he's from Peru.
He's amazing.
Right.
And we open up with Tarot Woman. Ooh. And it's such a comfortable, warming up, building up, kick-ass rock and roll song. And the people in the audience are like, Rainbow? Yeah. Boom. You know, it's like, kick the show off, man.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the Rainbow stuff really goes over. People love Rainbow.
That's classic rock, man.
Right. You know, and then you take, long live rock and roll, baby.
There we go.
You know, you take, now you mentioned Rainbow, and we know, and I know personally by meeting Ronnie a couple of times, this guy was the best human being in the rock scene that I have ever met in my life. I mean, you talk about a guy that, very, very quick story. I met Ronnie at Slip Disc Records in East Rockaway at a signing. Me and my wife were there, and he gave
Rockaway. Wow.
Yeah. My wife brought him candy, and we brought him roses. He came out, he kissed her, and he thanked me, and blah 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 blah. Fast forward a year later, we went to Vintage Vinyl in New Jersey, and we went to another in-store. He sees me and my wife. He comes from behind the counter, and he goes, Ralph, Joanne, oh my God, gives us a hug and a kiss. You got a guy that's touring the world, that is a megastar, and he remembers two piss hands from Queens. He remembers our names. You know what I mean?
He remembers a good-hearted gesture. That's
exactly. But I'm just saying that's the kind of guy he was.
Yeah, and he treated other bands that were on the road with him really good too, like that.
Right. And I know, Mike, me and you were talking about Rainbow and Richie Blackmore, and how much of a jerk the guy was. I mean,
a lot of people feel that way.
Right. Sure. Ronnie even said the reason why he treats his fans so well was because of Richie Blackmore treated his fans like crap. And that's not coming from me. That was coming from Ronnie.
No, you know, he's not the only one that says that.
Yeah. What a shame. I mean, the
Yeah,
guy,
Mike, he's not the only one that says that, Mike.
the guy is very talented. But let me ask you guys, what I noticed that in your set, and I don't know if you guys are doing anything off of one of the most underrated Black Sabbath albums ever, Dehumanizer.
Yes, sir.
Is there any song that you want to do off of that you just can't do, or you want to do in the future?
Because of this stupid thing that's going on, this agenda that's happening.
Yeah, it was a shit show out there.
Yeah, it's kind of brought everything to a grinding halt. So songs that I wanted to pursue from that record is we were doing
Yeah, I, baby, great song.
Great song.
It's one of my favorites, and probably my favorite Sabbath album is Dehumanizer.
That's right. Mine as well.
And so I wanted to do After All, Dead. I wanted to really get into doing that. And
you've been talking about that for a while.
TV Crimes, Computer God.
TV Crimes and Computer God I wanted to do, and Buried Alive.
Buried Alive is fucking, oh my God, that song.
That goes with the times right now, Buried Alive, man.
Yeah, So like there's a lot of songs there to be explored that I would love to do.
Right.
And, another song from The Devil You Know is Follow the Tears. We wanted to get that in the set to go with Bible Black.
Yeah.
That you're bringing up that album. Like I said, I love Dio. I'll love him until I go to my grave. That album is one of those albums that are,
the songs that are great are great. The songs that are great are great.
Exactly. I thought they might have rushed it too much. I thought if they could have put on the box that they had, the Dio years, if they could have put those tracks that were on there, the new ones, and put those on that Devil You Know album, and take out a couple of, like, Turning of the Screw. I didn't really like that.
Yeah, didn't do it for me either.
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Bobby, let me ask you, do you prefer to play the Dio stuff or the Black Sabbath stuff?
Wow. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Geezer Butler is he's my idol. That's my favorite bass player.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't play exactly like him. I don't think anybody can. I know people try. He's just solid in the box. He writes a lot of the stuff. It's easier, and I don't mean by it's easy, but it's easier to play the Jimmy Bain bass lines than the Geezer bass lines. The Geezer bass lines, like my guitar player whips me into shape. He's like, note for note, learn this. And I'm like, but I'd say I'd rather go with the Dio solo stuff to play bass. And it's a lot of it to me is because it's a little bit easier. Not saying it's easy, a little bit easier. I can get into it more on stage. I like to put on a show.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, who was some of the music that you listened to growing up? Who's like, I mean, I always ask this question too.
Back in time, that far?
When they wrote the lyrics on a tablet with a fucking hammer and chisel,
Yeah, Sumerian.
Moses, I think.
Back to Samaria.
Oh, but what were some of the influences that you have growing up?
I have an older brother, and he was in cover bands when he was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was coming up, I was listening to, Hendrix, Grand Funk Railroad was my favorite. That's what really ignited me.
Farner.
To get, Mark Farner. And my mother, I got a quick story for you. My mother and my sister were at the Shea Stadium show in 1969. And
I was
all kind of pissed off because, my father wouldn't let me go. And, I was a little young. I wound up going to the movies with my father while my mother and my sister were at Grand Funk. And, so they were huge at that time. They were really a big influence on my brother. So I kind of started really getting into rock and roll, with Grand Funk. Then I saw Alice Cooper on a
there's your boy right there. That's your boy.
I hear you're a huge Alice Cooper fan.
I am a big Alice Cooper fan, because when I saw Alice on what was that show, man? It was like Midnight Special, on ABC on Friday nights.
Yeah, 19.
He came out, he was like chewing on his shirt, and he had a switchblade, and he was sitting on a garbage can, and he had these glittery pants on, and he was just probably hammered out of his mind, but
yeah, Well,
The
he's
whole makeup and the whole look and the whole vibe of the band and everything, I thought was just so incredibly interesting, because it was so theatrical.
Did you guys? Did
So
you?
that was a really, just like a launching pad.
Right.
I'm
And I know
sorry?
Mike. I know Mike. Excuse me, Bobby. I know you said that Geezer Butler is your idol. Did you have any other? What kind of music did you listen to growing up?
Okay, well, basically, it's funny that my mother and father played instruments when I was younger. So I grew up actually singing and listening to doo-wop. I sang in an a cappella doo-wop band at the age of 14. And growing up in Queens, where where we were from, Ozone Park Village, heavy metal wasn't really big until later. I got into Kiss.
Yeah, that's my.
I know
Kiss
you're
is
a
my
Kiss
other
fan.
band. Kiss is my other band. Forget
And
it.
then everybody, I wanted to be Gene Simmons, like, all that crap. But I think what got me started was one guitar player when I was around 16. Van Halen. I started listening to Michael Anthony a lot, and then from there, when playing the Judas Priest, the basic '80s metal.
Right.
But once I opened my studio in my late 40s, different bands were coming in. We had a Queensryche band coming in. We had a Neil Diamond band come. Like, I was learning all these different types just to hear them. I wasn't in the bands, but being there around it. And then when Mike came in with this guy Danny, and they said, "Let's do this," and I was excited. I was like, "I want to play." And me and Mike, we hit it right off. Let me tell you something. Mike is a human like a DIO guy. He will give you the shirt off his back anytime, any day. He's one of the greatest humans I've ever met. He's been through me with a lot of stuff. And because of him is why I still play. I was like I live in South Florida right now. But if the DIO band, which we said we got a gig, I'll be there tomorrow. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that for many people in New York.
Right.
Mike and the guys in the band now, Charlie Grasso, Rob Ferrara, Raul, and Mike, they keep me going, man. It's a great thing. Great thing.
Mike, do you prefer playing the Sabbath stuff or the DIO stuff?
Depends on the night. Depends on how I'm feeling.
I mean, if you had a choice, Sabbath or DIO. Hey, I'll rephrase that question. Ronnie James Dio with Rainbow, Ronnie James Dio solo, or Ronnie James Dio with Sabbath?
I knew you were going to ask that question.
You got to pick one.
Gotcha.
Oh, man, that's impossible.
Come on, it's possible. Just throw something out there. Come on. You want to make some new fans. They want to hear this. They want to hear it.
Listen, personally, Heaven and Hell goes over one of the biggest. So that's mine.
Yeah. Man, if I had a gun to my head, I there's no way I can throw away, the original Dio stuff.
Dio, like Holy Diver.
Yeah, because it wasn't just the Holy Diver and Last in Line. I just want to bring this up quick. The 3 albums that he did with Tracy G, I think, are really underrated. And
I hope to have Tracy on here.
That period, that had a big influence on me, that period. But just to go back quickly, what Bobby had to say about me. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, because the feeling's mutual. Bobby kind of saved my life. I got to be honest with you. I was in a really bad place mentally and emotionally when I started playing with Bobby. And Bobby kind of lifted me out of that whole thing, because I was kind of feeling sorry for myself and kind of being kind of a jackass. And, Bobby kind of pulled me out of it and woke me up.
So what you're saying is you suffer from LSD? Lead singer's disease? We all got that, right, Bobby?
Yeah,
Bobby,
okay.
we all been through that, right?
A little bit of that, I guess. But we definitely have a really good connection. And, make no mistake about it, Bobby drives the bus when it comes to the band. Bobby really got us into the clubs and worked, all the business aspects of the band.
Right.
Without Bobby, we would be done.
Right.
So,
that's awesome that you guys get along, because there's a lot of bands where, they play just for the sake of playing and they don't get along. You're always going to have that.
I won't do that just to play. Like, I got to be friends with the guys. Like, me and Michael are almost like family.
Camaraderie.
The band are all like family. I like it like that.
Right. So that being said, you know what I wanted to mention too? Did you guys check out the hologram?
I didn't go to it. I saw the video of it, but I didn't go to it.
I wasn't into it. I wasn't. I don't know. There's just something about it.
Very eerie.
I don't know. There was maybe if I was there, I would have enjoyed it. But watching, anything I saw online with it, I don't know, man. It just kind of felt hollow to me. I don't know.
Well, I saw it. I saw it in Huntington.
You went to the Paramount and saw it, yeah?
Yeah, I was right on the railing, right in front.
Oh,
I mean,
wow. And how was it?
I will say this, okay? Me being a huge Dio fan. Musically, the sound was phenomenal. The band, Simon Wright, Craig Goldie, Bjorn England, Scott Warren, and then you had Ripper Owens there singing with Oni Logan.
Yeah, it's cool.
They did half and half.
That's
phenomenal.
cool.
These guys were awesome. Seeing Ronnie on a piece of plexiglass, it was a little. I was a little taken aback for the first 3 songs. I'm like, what is this? But by the end of the night, you don't even realize it. You're like, you're thinking you're at a Ronnie show. Now, that being said, the only thing is, and I spoke with Mike about this. You're looking at Ronnie later on.
Right.
Towards the end of his career and the end of his life. It wasn't Ronnie when he was young. It wasn't Ronnie when he was in Rainbow, anything like that.
Right.
So you're trying
a healthy year.
Right. So you're seeing him playing, singing the songs from the 70s and he's later on in his life. So that was a little weird. But other than that, I mean, I'm a fan, it's just like Kiss. People say I'll never see Kiss because they have replacement players. I look at it as, I'm a Kiss fan. I'll go and see him. And I'll always go. I've been getting my ass kicked since I'm fucking 12 years old being a Kiss fan, So,
yeah. You know what? I didn't get to, sorry guys, I'm the singer. I got to take over here for a minute.
Go ahead, Mike.
Kiss had a huge influence on my life, First show, New Year's Eve, 1975, Nassau Coliseum with Mountain and Blue Oyster Cult. And
what were you, about 20 then?
They're 20. No, I was about 13 actually. But the show was so powerful. It was the Kiss Alive tour, and they were so hungry back then. They were so aggressive. They were so loud. They blew off so many bombs. That stage was completely engulfed in smoke. You couldn't even see them at one point.
Wow.
And the crowd was so rowdy. It was so crowded. And so I thought the roof was going to cave in.
Right.
To this day, that show probably had the most impact on me in my entire life. It was that incredible. And I wanted to bring up Queensryche, Jeff Tate.
He actually just played out here a couple months back.
I mean, the influence that the guy had, in Halford and James LeBrie from Dream Theater and David Coverdale. Those are my guys,
Yeah.
So
who were yours, Mike? Bobby?
Yes, sir. What'd you say?
Who were yours?
Singing wise?
Anything. Bass player, singer?
Wow. Well, like I said, growing up in Queens, we didn't get to really, and
Geezer Butler?
like a poor family, so I barely had a radio or a cassette player. So if I got to hear the Beach Boys,
right,
or I got a Kiss 45, I was in heaven,
All right, so I'll make this a little bit easier for you. Let's put together a celebrity band. I want both of you to give me. You start a celebrity band. I want the singer, I want the bass player, I want the guitarist, drums, and you can add a keyboard player if you want. Go ahead, Mike. You start.
All right, I'm going with Jafria on the keys.
Oh, that's
nice one.
All right, bass. Who we got, Bobby?
Bass? That's alive or dead, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Wow. Okay, if we're gonna go metal, I mean, all the years every concert I've been to, I've seen Rudy Sarzo a million times.
Met Rudy, what a great guy. Rudy Sarzo. Okay, we're gonna stick in the rhythm section. I want a drummer from you, Bobby. Go.
Drummer? I gotta go with Appice, Vinny.
All right.
Yeah,
all right, now we're going to guitar and vocals on Mike. Who we got?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh man, picking one singer.
This is
hard. Right now, it's got to be. And I forgot to mention him. I can't believe I forgot to mention him. It's ridiculous. Bruce Dickinson.
All right.
Well, that's your
See, I get everything out of you guys. And the last guitar. Who we got on guitar, Mike.
Am I picking it or is he picking
Yeah,
it?
you could pick it.
Steve Stevens.
Woof. Another Brooklyn, another friggin' New Yorker. All right, so we got the celebrity band from Neon Knights, the epic tribute to Dio. We got Bruce Dickinson, Bruce Dickinson on vocals, Stevens on guitar. We got Rudy Saw. Oh, I actually have a picture of Rudy Sawzo's sign right behind me. Rudy Sawzo on bass, Vinny Appice on drums, and Greg Giuffria on
That's a band.
keys. Now that's a band, is right. Maybe I can put that together.
I don't think people know how versatile Steve Stevens really is.
He plays flamenco. He plays all kinds of styles.
I mean, he can like play anything, and he can be super heavy.
Right.
You know, so like if you think he's just the guy from Billy Idol, you're sadly mistaken. He's not.
Hey, Mike, you forgot one of your favorite people.
What's that?
You forgot one of your favorites that you're always talking to me about, and I'm on the fence about. But one of Mike's favorites, who I know is great, but I'm kind of on the fence with some of his stuff. Kip Winger.
Oh my God, I love Kip Winger.
Kip, who was the bass player in
Alice Cooper.
That's right. And studied at Juilliard. And if you
he composes for the San Francisco Ballet.
That's right. That's right.
I
seen him at the Westbury Theater about
the guy's incredible.
years ago. Him, Reb Beach, Rod Morgenstein, and Paul Taylor is the keyboard player. They sounded phenomenal. I mean,
Winger is one of those guys. He can do anything. He can play anything. Like he's so good. He's so talented. He could play in Dream Theater.
I agree.
Yeah.
And he got such a bad rap from fucking Beavis and Butthead.
That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
You know what I mean?
And you know what? How come they didn't put Poison on the guy's shirt? You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving an example.
Right.
You know? Like, why did you put Winger on the shirt? I mean, Winger wrote some really good stuff.
He came out with great fucking music.
And the vocals.
The vocals.
He's another heavy, big influence on me vocally.
And Red Beach is a phenomenal guitar player as well who plays with him.
Incredible.
He's in Whitesnake, you know?
Incredible.
All right, so as we're going to start wrapping this up, I know we're going to talk about some new music, but what are your plans, guys? I mean, as far as playing out, I mean, Neon Knights, we know is still out.
You know, listen, I hit up every club once a month. I just send out, we're available.
Right.
Of course, like I said before, my home, Revolution in Amityville, is gone. Yeah. That hurt my heart. Okay.
Shout out to Revolution.
Pauline's family they treat us like we live there. Like they love us.
It's devastating.
And I know some of these like New York is taking it really hard, and I know this virus and everything. I'm down here in South Florida, and it's a different state, it's a different way, but everything outside is available. But for the band, I'm just waiting for one of these clubs to say, listen, we're ready to take on the Neon Knights, and the Neon Knights will come in there and blow the place up. We'll do it. We got you. Whatever you
we're not going anywhere.
Okay, good. You know, that being said, during COVID, listen, me being a musician as well, I'm sitting on my hands. I'm doing this show. I'm just trying to get anybody that wants to come on the show to know that how bad it is as far as the clubs. But we're so hungry. We still want to play. And if there's any type of platform, we could just spread the word because these clubs are dying left and right. I mean, it's hard.
Ralph, you said, I know Blackthorn closed down. You're getting, what's his name on, right?
Nicky Camp is supposed to come on the show. Yeah, Blackthorn, which is in Elmhurst, Queens, which hosted phenomenal bands.
That was a big name place, man.
I mean, Ross the Boss plays there a lot from Man of War. I mean, Held Hostage.
He used to rehearse at my studio a lot, Ross.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Ripper Owens played there. I can go on and on about the bands there, but long story short is the clubs are closing, and we just want to make sure that the fans, anybody that listens to this interview, knows that we're ready to play. You guys are not going anywhere. You still want to play, and during COVID, our creative juices are always flowing.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing a side project, right? You have an original band out?
Yes, we do. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. It was an idea I had for a long time. And I just never had the right players to put it together until I, started doing Neon Knights with Bobby. And then, even for a couple of years, me and Bobby, we just couldn't get it off the ground.
Right.
We've been having difficulties getting it out there because we can't find the correct personnel to complete the lineup. We played with this guy, Mike DiDomenico. We have a guitar player that is just absolutely incredible. And he's a drummer. And the guy's ability to write a song is just
he's a beast.
special.
He's a beast.
Yeah, so the band's called Kept Secret. And you know, it's a metal thing. You know, it's heavily inspired by Dio and Bruce Dickinson's solo records. You know, Chemical Wedding and stuff like that. It's definitely influenced by that whole vibe. I'm a huge Dickinson
Very
guy
heavy
too.
stuff. Very heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy, but we haven't been able to find the drummer that fits what we're trying to, you know, do. You know?
I hear that because I'm a drummer and I listen to this stuff and I said I couldn't play it. I'm sorry. I mean, I could play it probably for one song, but to do it night in and night out, I mean, you're gonna need a guy in like the Tommy Aldridge vein, a guy that's 70 years old and still plays like he's 20. That's the kind of guy you're gonna need. So if you're listening out there, anybody wants to audition for the new project Kept Secret, you can contact me or you can contact Neon Knights, the epic tribute to Dio.
By the way, the guitar player, Ralph, his name is Mike DiDomenico. He was my guitar player in my Creed tribute band. I had a Creed tribute band. Don't fall on
and you admit it?
Don't kill me for that. But I had a Creed.
And you admit it? All right, let's move Bobby right now. No, I'm only kidding. Creed has some good songs.
With
I know what shop around. That's the only knock on them because Alter Bridge,
Tremonti's amazing
he's
guitar.
an amazing guitar player. You know what I mean?
And this guy, Mike DiDomenico, he is like that.
Yeah, he is. He's
Mike
Domenico.
like,
shout out to Mike DiDomenico.
For sure.
All right, great. So, guys, where can we find you? We're going to wrap this up. Where can we find you? Obviously on Facebook.
Yes, you can definitely find us on Facebook. Neon Knights Epic Tribute to Dio. And we had a web page, but we had to take it down. It was becoming complicated, so we got rid of that. Right. And you can reach, if you're interested in auditioning for Kept Secret, you can send stuff to my email, keptsecret35@gmail.com.
Say that again, sir.
I will say it.
Very funny.
keptsecret35@gmail.com. Or you can contact the Rock Shop with Ralph on my email or message me if you guys want to audition for Kept Secret, the new side project from these guys. Well, I mean, guys, it was a blast, right? It was fun.
I had a great time, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're going to put it up on the page and everybody's going to watch it and everybody knows about Neon Knights, the epic tribute to Dio. Check these guys out. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. This is coming from a Dio fan.
Yeah.
You guys are great. All
Appreciate
right, guys.
you, Ralph. Appreciate you.
Anytime, man. Spread the word. The Rock Shop with Ralph. Hold on. You guys stay on.